Learn more online at www.skccu.com. Become a member today and be a part of something greater.
Hey, Webmaster here. I stay connected to Freedom with the Freedom SKN app. Simply search for the Freedom app in the Android's Play Store or the Apple's App Store and download it. Enjoy world-class radio at its best, anytime, anywhere. Become a Freedom Apper today.
Check it out. The island's biggest adventure hits the road on Saturday, November 22nd, 2025.
It's the Rotary Club of St. Kitts Carnival Car Rally. Fun, prizes, and community spirit collide. Starting at Frigate Bay Lawn at 9:30 a.m., ending with a mouth-watering barbecue and car show at Rotary House, Portland from 12 p.m.
Win up to $5,000 in cash and carnival costumes packages.
All registered teams get gift bags from Goldmine Jewelry Store.
Check out new rides from CNC, TDC, and SL Horsfords.
With financing from Republic Bank, CIBC Caribbean, the Bank of Nevis, SKCCU, TDC Financial Services, and insurance from TDC Insurance.
Party with DJ Taro and DJ Smudge with sunset ticket giveaways.
So grab your crew, decorate your ride, and hit the road for a cause. Team registration, $250. Barbecue, $25 per meal. Be there to win.
It's a Tuesday afternoon, and it's time for Hot Topics. It's 1:37 right here in the studios of Freedom FM. It's the 18th of November, 2025. Nobian is here and ready. Nobian, Hot Topics?
Most
Ready?
definitely. That's what we do every Tuesday. Hot Topics Live, where we talk about the issues that are most important to the persons of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Mm-hmm. And today we're talking about a few issues.
Correct.
But we're starting out with our guests because we do have some special guests here from, well, I'll have them introduce themselves and tell us where they're from. So who do we have? Alicia, you're going first?
Sure. Good afternoon.
No.
Good afternoon to your famous listeners, your, what was we call them? Elite listeners. Once you listen to Freedom, you're elite,
I
right? So thank you for having us in studio this afternoon, Jimmy. My name is Alicia White. I am the current president of the Rotary Club of St. Kitts, and we also have with us today our director of fundraising, Miss Mistress Kerry-Ann Amrit. And today we are here to talk about our fast approaching upcoming event on the 22nd of November. That's this coming Saturday, our Carnival, Car Rally and Barbecue happening this Saturday at Rotary House. So, Director Kerry-Ann?
Fantastic. I'm always excited to hear from the Rotary Club, right? Because you guys do a lot to give back. It's fun, but you are giving back to the Federation.
Definitely.
And this is exactly what Hot Topics is about. We often speak about community and the importance of giving back. So this time it's a rally.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about the rally.
So the car rally is actually a scavenger hunt. It has been one of Rotary signature events. It was resurrected a few years ago, and basically persons be asked to look for clues throughout the island. And the most exciting thing, you get to decorate your car, dress up in your teams, and there will be prizes for best decorated car, best dressed team. All the funds to register for the car rally, the scavenger hunt, which is a team building exercise, perfect for companies, good bonding for family, friends. You know, it's basically for everyone, young, old. It's a family event. And car enthusiasts, bring out your nicest car. We were just talking about that off the air. So those who are into cars, we welcome you to please come on out, be part of the car rally. Of course, obey the traffic laws and regulations. There's no minimum or maximum for a team. A team could be as low as one person, but it makes it harder for you to find the clues.
Exactly.
Yes, it's going to bounce off other persons. Or the team could be as big as possible, 50. The issue with that means you have to share the prizes.
Yes.
Now, as I said, to register a team is only $250. All the funds, all the proceeds, everything we raise go towards charity and our charitable projects. But the prizes this year is exciting. And these prizes are going to you. We're talking hard cash, $5,000 for the winner of the car rally.
And we need some cash right now, Vivian.
Cash is king.
Yes, and just in time for Christmas. So just in time for Christmas shopping, for a good Christmas, or even just to pay off your bills. But $5,000 hard cash. Then $1,000 for the second place winner, $500 for the third place winner. But it doesn't stop there. So for the best decorated car, I'm excited to say, Jamie, thanks for allowing us to come to Freedom on Sugar Bowl earlier.
Yes.
But we got a new sponsor.
So you have an update.
A new prize, a new update. So for the best decorated car, you could get the second day 2 costume package from Ultra, and I've been advised that this is actually sold out. The day 2 costume package for Lux, which is apparently sold out. So, and not only that, the sold out section of Excess Juve package, 2 costumes from the Excess Juve, and if you already bought from the sold out section, they will refund you. So basically, no money spent on there. So you could enjoy Carnival for practically free for the best dressed team, 2 Red Devils costume, 2 costumes from Extreme Juve. So again, you have choices. So again, dress up your team, decorate your car, and if you win the car rally, you also, as I said, get hard cash. But it doesn't stop there. Signing up, you win automatically. Each team will get a gift bag from Gold Mine Jewelry store filled with goodies. So from just signing up, you have one. You already got a prize. Then the car rally ends at, or I should start, it starts at Frigate Bay Lawn on this Saturday coming, 22nd, 9:30 a.m. to register. You can register online. You can register online at events.jad.cash/carnival car rally 25/ or you can register on the day, meaning on the Saturday at Frigate Bay Lawn from 9:30 in the morning. We set out at 10:30 in the morning. Of course, you gotta come early. The person who comes back with the most clues and the earliest wins. So, of course, come early so you can register, secure your spot.
Yes.
Or register online. You will see some flyers around the place. Do that. Get your spot early. Then the car rally concludes at the Rotary House in Fort Lance, which is opposite the old Fort Thomas Hotel. Hope most persons know where that is, but it's close to Serendipity Restaurant. And there at Fort Lance, it ends with a barbecue. From 12 o'clock, you could get delicious meals, only $25 per meal. Fish, pork, and chicken. Barbecue chicken, and it comes with sides, rice and peas, vegetable rice. We've been very fortunate. Basically, we have had significant donations. Just like to shout out SKN Sons Limited, Rams Group of Companies, Indian Summer, Surf Restaurant, 17 Degrees, 60 Degrees, Gibraltar, Gastro Lounge, Brimson Hill, Amory Bakery, who have generously donated, the food items. But of course, we're cooking fresh to order, smoked pork, grilled fish, everything's gonna be absolutely delicious. those who have been to Rotary events before, you know we got the best pork in town, best grilled fish, everything fresh to order. That made you laugh.
Well, our members are one of our members, Scott Kane. See, well, most persons who come to our barbecues know that the smoked pork will be on from the morning off. So he wakes up at 4, he goes down, he lights the fire, and he starts smoking. I'm telling you,
Very
from the
serious.
morning, so the pork is fresh, tender, falling off the bone, just delicious.
And well seasoned.
Tenderism, and it's local as well.
And it is local. And so at the barbecue, it doesn't stop there. We have a free live entertainment. Some of the hottest DJs. So we have DJ Smudge, DJ Terror, and DJ Terror. Just for attending the barbecue, you get a chance to win 2 free tickets to the Sunset Empire State of Mind party. And also, well, I might have another update, and we may have another update coming, but we may have another DJ in the mix.
Okay.
So we've been approached. So thank you again, the Freedom family. Thanks for sponsoring us and all the other media houses. We really appreciate it because we've been approached. Because again, you see what Rotary do.
Yes.
Your money going to a good cause. But it doesn't stop there. So when you get to the barbecue, you will have cars on display from all the major dealerships. CNC, TDC, Horsewords. You can identify your car and then identify your financing. Retail Services, TDC Insurance, SKCCU, and also we will have the Bank of Nevis in the house. So you can identify your car, identify your financing, even get insurance. So basically all in time for VAT Day. So it's a one-stop shopping. It's like going to a car mall, seeing everything. And then we will have some unique cars on display. So if you feel free to approach us if you would like to display your unique car. But we will have a few unique cars on display for all the car enthusiasts.
It sounds amazing, right? Listen, just people would go out just to see the cars. Because people love, whenever there's a car show, people love to go and just view the cars. And I can't imagine having that, plus lunch, plus the rally before you're competing.
Right.
It sounds like a Saturday afternoon
And
of
top-notch
fun.
entertainment.
Yeah, and top-notch entertainment. How did I forget that? So a Saturday of fun.
Full bar,
what are
full
the
bar.
themes for decorating the cars?
That's up to you.
So
That's
you
up
just
to you.
decorate your car however you want
However
to.
you want to decorate it. Last year we had someone come decorated like a pirate ship. The back of the truck was a pirate ship, and they dressed as pirates.
Okay. Okay.
So bring out your creativity. Yes, bring out your creativity.
Correct. And it could be a team or it could be a family thing.
It doesn't matter. Once you have a car, it's legally registered and insured, good for the road. You can come and register and be in the winning for the
So
$5,000.
any kind of vehicle, once it's road ready.
Once it's road ready. Yes.
And on that note, yes, it can be a team. It could be co-workers. It can be friends. It could be your family. It could be you and your little children. It could I remember going to a car rally. Not giving away my age, but I must have been about 9 years old, and it was one of the most exciting times I had.
Right.
So, as I said, we're trying to bring back that whole camaraderie, and again, unity. We're trying to bring everybody.
Correct.
So again, as you can see, our thing is unite for good. So we ask everybody to please come together, unite for a good cause. And as I said, it's going to be fun, fun, fun. But you can win. Just signing up. Imagine, signing up, you get goodies from Goldmine Jewelry Store. That's where, I'm not saying again that, but that's where they sell the Hublot watches and Alexani bracelets and so forth. So, come and see what you can get in that package.
Any free watches given away that day? No. but for me, one of the main takeaway is it's for a charitable cause.
Definitely.
It's giving
Definitely.
back, and you're not doing all of this because you're looking hype. You're not doing all of this because you're looking cash or you're looking financial support in any way. You all are doing this because you all want to give back to the community, give back to some institution for
Definitely. And if you know the Rotary Club of St. Kitts, this year we celebrated our 56th anniversary. So this is not any play game. We've been here for a very long time. The members are very committed to the causes of our vulnerable communities in St. Kitts and Nevis. So everything we do it for free. We give our time, we give our expertise, we give our specializations, our classifications to better impact the community and raise awareness and funds for those same reasons. So we're asking everybody to come out and support, because you know that your funds or your donations are going towards a very good cause.
Right.
And Rotary Club in St. Kitts, we've done so much throughout the years. We have a couple more events for the rest of the season. We have our usual foster care party where every single foster child in St. Kitts and Nevis comes to a party at the government house that we put on. They get a gift as well for the season, might be their only gift for the entire year. So those are the kind of initiatives that we do. Food hamper projects, and our most significant one, our prostate screening event that we have every single year that is well participated by most men in St. Kitts and Nevis, and that is free, of course. Why you smile like that, Nubian?
Is it like a blood screening, or is it the physical screening?
No, it's a physical screening.
My God.
But
actually,
no, it's actually both. So when you go to the prostate screening, again, we fly in all the experts.
You fly in,
we fly
so
in
it's
all
new
the
experts saying the...
So it's basically all the specialists
Okay.
who deal with that, and then they actually Avalon they assist us, and they actually take your blood. So you do the blood test, physical test, and based on your results, then they would indicate whether they need to call you back or what is your results. But not only that, they test you for everything: blood pressure, diabetes. They had HIV test last time, so you get basically a full scan. A full scan.
Right.
So imagine all of that for free. So it's like you went to a specialist office and get an entire body check. Just like how you check the car, the top of the hood of the car.
You pull the hood and you connect up your wires, and
Correct.
the computer says everything good.
Everything
or you want
is
a new
good.
carburetor, or you want to know this, or you want to know that.
And
Full
I know,
diagnostics.
Yeah, and I know some persons, it would have saved some lives. Definitely
Right.
this year.
Yes, it does.
And we
does.
had 365 men, 1 man for every year. We're seeing last prostate screening, which was this year. And we have the next one scheduled early next year. And again, we do care packages to the indigent. So we do that at least 3 times a year. You know, we have our polio internationally, polio eradication. So we actually contribute funds to that. We also do anything happen, disaster relief. So we actually liaison with Jamaica or our sister club in Rotary, meaning with our district, who then liaise with the sister club in Rotary Club in Jamaica. There are many things that we actually do. One of them, which was very exciting, that I'll let the president talk about, the Disability Association. We just completed a computer course with them. They came to us and they said they wanted to be more employable.
Right.
And so
More
Rotary
marketable.
went more marketable. So I'll let the president.
So definitely. So we just concluded an 8 weeks training. Every Monday and every Tuesday, Rotarians dedicated their time. We went down to the Mac Night Center where they usually congregate, and we had sessions with them on Microsoft Word. So we taught about 10 of those persons from that group how to use Microsoft Word from top to bottom for 8 weeks. And when we were done, they were asking for part 2. So you know what that means. So those are the kind of initiatives we're involved in.
What do you guys do with like single mothers or those single parents, even single grandparents who take care of kids? I know a few of them in the community who are really, really struggling right now. Do you all have like a program that lends or cater to them in any way?
Not at the moment, but these are the things that we love to hear about. Our care packages, we definitely, the last care package, we seem to have touched a lot of single mothers, our last care package. But people like you are who we want to connect to it, so that when we're putting these initiatives together, we can touch base with you and really be able to touch the real vulnerable persons in the community that we need to reach. That is what Rotary is about. So
No problem.
I'll be connecting with you for the next one.
No problem.
And just to say, one of our past initiatives was also we had a reading program. So some of the funds are going towards refurbishing the Rotary House, which will allow us to have more of these mentorship programs, such as what we said, training, basically even teaching little children how to read, because I think we have, memory serve, I think it was the Irish Town School, but we also have basically we're sponsored a school.
Yes, our sponsored school is the Bronte Welch Primary School. So we've adopted that school, and whatever needs that they may have, we definitely cater to.
Okay.
Right. So kind of straight a bit, but there's so much to talk about when you're talking about Rotary.
No, but it's important because
Definitely.
people want to know where their funds are going.
Yes.
Yes, you're participating. Yes, you're getting value for your money, but it's also important for people to know the money is going to a good cause.
Definitely.
It's going right back to
Probably,
the
Jamie,
community.
what we could do is early next year, we could bring them for an entire show and not
Definitely.
like 15 minutes, so that you all could explain, because I know persons who would want to give, and like you speak about refurbishment, I'm a contractor, and so I know other contractors who might want to donate a little service or a little materials. I mean, in refurbishing your all building, I believe you all did the roof just the other day?
Yes, we've just been on the
Correct. So
roof.
like doing some electrical work, I know persons who would probably want to donate like 1 or 2 hours in getting outlets and light fixtures and switches together.
Definitely.
Other initiatives that could help you all, help the community and help the country at the end of the day.
Definitely, because that space is, when once we're done, this space is going to be a safe space for
Right.
the elderly, for vulnerable youths. If you want to have something, then we'll allow you to use the space for certain reasons that
Yeah.
would contribute towards the well-being of the community. So
Yeah.
it's not just going to be for Rotary and Rotarians.
Yeah, yeah,
It's going to
yeah.
be open to the community.
Correct. Yeah. Sounds good.
And you know me, Nubian, I would definitely take you up on that offer.
But I
as
want
soon
you
as
to.
it's-
I want you to. I want
As
you
soon as
to.
the show is over,
Yeah, yeah.
you'll be getting a call from me, because we're actually in the process of trying to complete and finalize. So we definitely appreciate all the help, and we need all the help.
Yeah, man. That's
Yes.
easy. That's easy. And that's what I'm about too. I'm about community and fostering and building stronger persons and stronger communities, stronger families at the end of the day.
Definitely, we know that for sure. And so, just to reiterate, this Saturday, the 22nd November, it's going to be amazing fun. It's our Rotary Car Rally, Carnival Car Rally, dubbed kind of one of the first events to pop off for the season, so you don't want to miss it at all. So we'll be at Frigate Bellon from 9:30. You can bring your teams over, you can register, but if you want to be ahead of that curve, you can go to our Instagram page. That's Rotary Club of St. Kitts on Instagram, and the link is in the bio. You can use that link to register as well your team for Saturday. So you come with your decorated car, you come with your costumes, your team ready to go. You hit the road, you find the clues, you finish that up, you get to Rotary House. If you get there first and all your clues are verified, you're the lucky winner of $5,000, right?
So you're all gonna have, so over on the Frigate Ballon, you would have like the car companies there too?
Not on the Frigate Bellon. So
Just up at
when
the
you
Rotary
get to
House.
Rotary House, you'll have an array of companies ready to assist you with your pre-VAT needs, cars on display. You can easily just go look at the cars, see which one you want. The representative would be there from the different company to assist you and put you ahead of the curve in time for VAT day. Then we have a delicious, scrumptious barbecue meal, $25. You don't need a ticket to come as well.
Right.
If you have a ticket, you can come redeem that, so you can use it at the bar or you can use it for food. So the meal is $25, drinks at the bar. We have hard liquor, and we also have brewery drinks as well. We also have a tasting by Carib Brewery of their different flavors of Caribe. We know they put out a ton
Yeah, I
of
saw that
flavors recently.
yes.
We may also have
That would be a surprise, but we may have another free tasting of a rum.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
so there's a lot of surprises.
So
that-
all day.
all day. We're going all day. And then we have top-notch entertainment, DJ Terror, DJ Smudge. DJ Terror is going to be giving away to 2 lucky persons 2 sunset tickets. And we also have top-notch prizes.
And just want to shout out the sound system of DAS, the Asylum Sound System, which is also a sponsor of ours. And also just to highlight Valley's Tent Rental Services, who have worked with us many times for years. So we just want to shout out our sponsors.
Right. That's good.
Okay, so we're out of time, way over time, as a matter of fact.
Well, Jamie, can I just say one last thing?
Sure,
just to sum up what the president said. Please come out Saturday, 9:30 at the Frigate Bay Lawn. And as you said, Jamie, come have fun. It's all for a good cause.
Right.
So please come out and
Definitely.
support.
Thank you so much for coming and updating our listeners. I am certain that they are excited about Sunday because
Saturday.
Saturday, sorry. Excited about Saturday because you guys did a good job in giving all the information. I saw a video this past week with DJ Smudge performing in Ghana, somewhere in Africa.
yeah.
So, you have top tier entertainment,
Correct,
right?
yeah.
So I'm encouraging everyone to go on out.
The island's biggest adventure hits the road on Saturday, November 22nd, 2025.
It's the Rotary Club of St. Kitts Carnival Car Rally. Fun, prizes, and community spirit collide. Starting at Frigate Bay Lawn at 9:30 a.m., ending with a mouth-watering barbecue and car show at Rotary House, Portland from 12 p.m.
Win up to $5,000 in cash and carnival costumes packages.
All registered teams get gift bags from Goldmine Jewelry Store.
Check out new rides from CNC, TDC, and SL Horsfords.
With financing from Republic Bank, CIBC Caribbean, the Bank of Nevis, SKCCU, TDC Financial Services, and insurance from TDC Insurance.
Party with DJ Taro and DJ Smudge with sunset ticket giveaways.
So grab your crew, decorate your ride, and hit the road for a cause. Team registration, $250. Barbecue, $25 per meal. Be there to win.
The countdown is on. The sweetest season of the year is here. From December 13th to January 2nd, St. Kitts and Nevis comes alive once more with vibes galore, energy to explore, and moments sweeter than ever before. Sugar Mans 54, sweet to the core. The stage erupts with the passion of Calypso, the sweet sound of Pan, the heat of soca, dazzling pageants and traditions that make you love Carnival even more. Dance to the streets at Juve, celebrate folklore, and revel in the Grand Carnival Parade, a celebration of rhythm, color, culture. Sugar Mass 54, sweet to the core.
Reliable, dependable, Delta. If you live here in St. Kitts and you tank on E, there's only one place that you should be. Maybe driving in Nevis and you need some fuel. Go straight to Delta. Don't be a fool. Get your cooking gas fast. All petroleum needs ULSD. Everyone in the region is shouting, Go Delta. Premium gasoline in a fully stocked C-store. So there's only one place you should be. Delta Petroleum, baby.
For life's finest moments, celebrate them with Skoal Premium Lager. Pure malt, pure class, pure perfection. Skoal, class and perfection in a bottle.
What if your money did more than sit in an account? What if it built dreams, supported families, and empowered futures? At St. Kitts Credit Union, we're more than a financial institution. We're a family that believes in your potential, rooted in people helping people. Enjoy competitive savings rates and low interest loans for mortgages, vehicles, education, and more. Need security for you or your loved ones? The Family Indemnity Plan and Loan Protection Insurance give your loved ones peace of mind, whether you're saving for school, building your business, or planning for tomorrow. SKCU is here for you. It's not just about banking, it's about belonging. Contact us at 465-2272 or any of our branches. Learn more online at www.skccu.com. Become a member today and be a part of something greater.
Hey, Webmaster here. I stay connected to Freedom with the Freedom SKN app. Simply search for the Freedom app in the Android's Play Store or the Apple's App Store and download it. Enjoy world-class radio at its best, anytime, anywhere. Become a Freedom apper today.
No
the man for you.
And we are back. We are back here on Hot Topics on a Tuesday afternoon. You know, the Hot Topics continue while we are off the air, right?
Yes.
So just so you know.
It does.
When we turn on the mic, if you hear a little thing, you know, it's nothing serious. We're just continuing the discussion.
Exactly.
So, Nubian hosted an amazing event, and I'm not just saying that it was amazing because he's here, but it was a really, really good event on a Saturday afternoon. When he told me about it, I'm like, no, on Saturday, I like leave the house, you know, like I don't like to leave my house.
Yes.
But I am happy that I went. It was a diabetes brunch, and we were able to learn so much about diabetes, because diabetes is a topic that, you know, we hear the word all the time and we all feel like, you know what I said, how you said that? Oh, they got sugar. Yeah. It's just, you know, diabetes, you got sugar. So
and we feel as though it's not for us. And I actually felt that way when you hear about diabetes and sugar
you
and
feel
this.
old people, ain't
yeah,
it?
you feel as though that is for old people,
but we ain't
and that
old.
ain't for me yet. You know, you hear about stroke, and you hear about stroke, that's for somebody that is old, that got a lot of stress. And most of these things, you feel as though you're young and you're strong, and it is not for you.
Exactly.
Until you reach a point.
And I feel like men feel that even more than women.
Yes.
Because men tend to feel like they're invincible.
Yeah, you're strong and you're working, and the sun don't bother you, and this don't bother you, and the amount of popcorn you eat or the amount of sugar cake you eat don't bother you, and you eat and you eat and you eat until it becomes an issue. And so today we have, well, you were saying there was about
so I was saying we learned a lot from Dr. Pierre, who is here with us today. While you were speaking, I messaged Nubian and said, listen, well, we had to get this man on the show because while it was important to speak to everybody who was there, that was just a cross-section of the society, and we wanted freedom. We have a huge audience regionally and internationally as well, and we wanted to be able to bring this information to the public. So welcome.
And also what is one of the most important things that he gets to interact with the public.
Yes.
So I know we started just a bit late. Probably a bit later on we will have to dedicate a show because Dr. P is very knowledgeable.
Not just about diabetes.
And a wide cross-section of medical stuff. And we would want him, and we would want our listeners to be able to interact and ask those very, very important questions. And one of the takeaway for me is when Dr. Pierre said that in his practice, he just don't allow you to come in and sit down and speak about, well, I got a cough last night. He wants to hear about everything because
the hour and a half blew me away.
Correct. He wants to speak. He wants to know about you
and
fixing all your issues. And so I would want to. I would not ever attempt to speak for Dr. Pierre. I would allow him to introduce himself, and hope that we could open the lines early enough so that our listening public can interact with him and get the knowledge and figure out where they need to go as it pertains to their medical issues and the medical future.
Okay, so Dr. Pierre?
Yeah, man, thank you again for inviting me. I think, you know, the importance of this is the very same redundancy I spoke of. Because sometimes, you meet and you have this talk and then it's just an item on the agenda, right? And, you know, you see people very engaged, but then afterwards people go back to their lives. Life continues to life. Life is life in, right? And, you know, we just spoke about we old. I remember, let me tell you something now. I remember growing up, people my age, I said, well, as an old person.
Yes.
I mean, as a young man, anybody who, but once you start clocking 50, to me, you're an old person.
Not even 50.
You're 40 something, it's like you're old, right? So I get it why we say we're old, but you know, I spoke about something at the time that I think age is more than just biological age, right? It's not like it's how you feel, you know, productivity wise. I just came from a little conversation / meeting with somebody who's tackling, you know, from an NGO perspective, non-communicable diseases, and we're talking about people's baseline of health. Because I started doing something recently, because every disease you have, and I know you're going to introduce myself, but everybody knows me. I've been here to Freedom before. Yeah, man. For COVID, I came here several times. Okay. Garfield Alexander used to be here. Garfield and I came here before and so on. You know, so I've been here. and I speak all around St. Kitts, every church, everything, every opportunity.
Okay.
Right? So I think it goes without, I think that the introduction is less important. I think the information is what really, and since we're short on time, I just want to just jump straight into the issues, if you allow me. So I was saying that, every disease you get takes away life from you, productive years. Like hypertension, for example, a diagnosis of hypertension takes away 3 years of productive life. Stress takes away 5. Chronic stress takes away 8. Okay? Right? So yeah, real thing. So if you look, for example, somebody and we say that you're born at 0 years of age, your life expectancy is 74, 75 based on what the average life expectancy is. And your productive years kind of matches that. You have 74 years of productive life. But from your first diagnosis, you start losing productive years of life. So you may stay alive until 74, but the quality of life you have, how productive you are at a particular age, you've lost 2 already by the first diagnosis and depending on the disease. Diabetes takes away 5, hypertension 2. So if you have diabetes and hypertension, that's 7 years of productive life you've lost. The earlier you get that diagnosis, the earlier you already start losing that. So essentially, it's almost as if you have a bank account.
Right? And making withdrawals.
And making withdrawals from very early on, right? So when you look at this and you look at those I talk about baseline of health. When you're going to die or whatever, your baseline of health, because if we're expecting you to still produce just purely based on the fact that this is your age and therefore you should. So when we talk about increasing pension age, is what I was concerned about. I said we can't just willingly increase pension age because we look at Social Security in 10 years and say it won't be properly funded. The question is, if we're trying to create a productive society where people go into the workplace naturally really producing, and we're trying to build an economy, we have to look at, are our people productive, or are we asking of people more than they can actually deliver
at that age?
At that age.
Exactly.
Correct.
Or more than they should be delivering.
Because and you're very, very correct. What is the productivity level of a 65-year-old?
Thank you.
That we are asking to still be in the system, and we still want to increase it.
There you go. So these are the things that, I think one of the good things I did, in terms of just getting the medical degree, is also looking at the statistical component of it. And I think that's where a degree in epidemiology and public health and so on comes in, because it allows you now to look at things. Because you're a clinician, yes, but you're a scientist. You have to look at the data. Just like prescribing things willy-nilly for everybody and everybody getting the same thing, because we aren't cut from the same cloth. Every society is different. How hypertension behaves here in St. Kitts is totally different to how hypertension operates in New York. Or in any way, so we can just copy and paste treatment left, right, and center and just give people. We have to look, and I think when we talk about sustainability and we're building a sustainable state and so on, you can't sustain if your people dying.
Exactly.
You can't sustain if your people getting sick earlier, right? They're living longer, but they're getting sick earlier.
So that brings us to the quality of life that they're
Quality
living.
of life.
Because if you're sick younger, what's the quality of life throughout all of those years that you're living?
All those years. So we have people on the job, and this is why for me, workforce management is something that we have to be talking about in terms of what access are you giving your people to manage mental health issues, to get access to the doctors thing. You talk about men and men think, no, I don't think, I beg to differ, men no longer think themselves invincible. Men are now very much conscious of the fact that we are perhaps as weak and as vulnerable as as the other gender. We are. But the thing is that our society has not shifted nearly enough to accommodate now this sort of reframing of our mindset. Men now, our brothers are dying right around us, right? So we know that. But the man who, for example, is a daily paid worker and thinks that he's going to miss a day of work to pay a doctor, that's a hard decision to make. Because you're missing one day of work. If you're a bus driver and you're not in that bus in the front seat, you're making any money, and you go sit in the doctor's office for 4 hours to wait for him. You know how many trips you can make in 4 hours?
Yes. And I did hear a young person say that the other day. We were having a conversation, and the person was not feeling 100%. And she probably should have been at home because it was something like the flu or whatever, right? And she said, when you have to make the decision, do I go to work and get paid, or do I not get paid and stay home?
Well,
you're going to work sick.
Well, you see, what happens, that decision varies on who has to make it. Like a woman would quicker say, I'm going to see the gynecologist, so I can't come to work today. And it might seem okay if she's in a relationship or she's married. A husband or a father would... That decision-making process would be different because, as our conversation was last week, he has that sense of responsibility. Can I lose the DP to go and see Dr. Pierre?
That's right.
That's right. Because I have all these responsibilities that are mine and mine only.
And you can't lean on anybody.
Exactly.
So society is not ready to make that accommodation. Despite the fact we talk about equality and all sorts of things and so on amongst the sexes, but the burden, so then not only that, it's called burden of disease. Because every time somebody gets sick, society picks up the tab. Doesn't matter where that happens in our society, we pick up the tab. So I could come here and talk about a lot of specific diseases, and we talk about diabetes, and people, you can go on the internet and get those things. The question is, when I think now, I have a 5-year-old son and I have a 28-year-old daughter.
28-year-old?
Yeah. So
that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, no, it's just, but a bit of a stretch. 23-year difference. Right?
I know.
I'm telling you,
right?
Wow.
Listen, I have a 19-year-old daughter, right? And when people see me, like, Jamie, when you get the next child, I'm like, but what do you mean? Enough time passed already for me not to have that
You might be surprised, you can just end up like me.
Never.
Right? No, so the reason I bring that up is because of the fact that my 28-year-old daughter, I thought to myself, well, she has her education, she's now, fully graduated from Columbia, doing well. But then I look at my 5-year-old son and I start thinking, boy, what sort of society am I leaving behind?
Exactly.
And not only that, I'm thinking of him from the perspective of a black male. That is very important. So we have to think of disease less about the specifics of each condition, but how it's affecting societies, communities, families as a whole, how it's actually impeding our ability to actually grow and create true sustainability. That's why the hour and a half conversation. Because if you come to me for a cough, if you're a man and come to me for a cough and a cold because you figure that's what everybody sees and hears at work and say, boy, go and check that cough out because nobody wants to catch what you have, right? Whereas there are other diseases that are killing you on the inside, even more so than the cough. But the cough is what is very apparent, very obvious to people. So if you come to me for a cough, I'm not going to miss that opportunity. I want to. You may refuse it, as I said, but I'm offering to check your prostate. I want to check everything because I don't know when next you will get in front of another provider. Because you see what I'm saying? So that's why. And now that we're now up on the International Men's Health Day, which is 21st, I think, right? Am I mistaken?
Yes.
Yeah, 21st, which is two days away, right? Okay. It's so important, and I hate to seem to be creating some sort of division between the sexes. That's not necessarily the case. But I know as a man what we're up against. We don't have a sense of community. We don't organize well. Women do that much better than us. Of course.
Yeah.
A woman will put an event and women will show up. They'll support.
Yeah.
Break up with your boyfriend and you see how many of your friends will come around you. As a woman. Just leave
that hasn't been my experience, but go ahead.
No, leave your boyfriend or your husband and you see all your friends come. Let me tell you, all your friends start hating that person the same way like you hate him. So I never liked him. Never liked him. You're hearing things about that man you never heard before. Right? Men don't have that. In fact, if you as a man, when you go around your friends and so on, you're more likely to get them throwing shade on you. Boy, I heard you casual, I'm telling you. So
that's true?
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, we don't have. Just go around any rum shop and see how many Magnums and beers and so on and that men are having, spending so much money on drinks. If you total that, and tomorrow you come and you see that you tell that very same friend, boy, I came to the doctor and he gave me some tests to do today because of $800. My boy, you can give me nobody will put their hand in the pocket to help you. But somebody will spend that on drinks immediately,
Yes.
and that's so.
Wow.
So yeah,
Yes,
that's the thing.
yes,
And
that is true.
But
That is true.
you know what is. that speaks to me about perception, because I would see all these men liming together by the same bar and just say, but men just have a lot of friends. They just have this brotherhood that females don't have.
Listen, right, when most men meet up, as you say, especially like on construction sites and different places like that, we tend to enter into like a little machismo sort of thing where we talking and everybody trying to blow their own trumpet. And so after them blow me trumpet, how are you supposed to come and tell you I'm broke and I want $100? And then after I come and say that, then the other conversation would be when men are around. He been talking, saying he got all this money and he got all of this and all of that and still begging me $100. But how does that work?
I get what
women, on the other hand, tend
yeah.
to be a bit more honest amongst each other.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
I get
course.
what you're saying.
Of course, a woman. Let me say, and so these are some of the things that I think these are some of the breakdowns in our society that we have to look at before we start tackling disease in and of itself. Because these are the things that makes it difficult for me as a medical doctor to fully treat a patient. When I give you, and I don't want to start curating. Like there's a great test that you could do, but when I look at your budget, I'm thinking, let me give you a cheaper version of it, right? So I am saying this because we have a politician here, and
no, he said he's not a politician.
Okay,
A father, an engineer, a community person.
He's a politician. Let's go.
And politics on the side.
And politics as a side hustle. But the fact of the matter is that this may very well be one of the individuals who begins to shape policy tomorrow in our country.
Yes.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? And I think we have to actually catch and start having those conversations before you get in there. Because I think a lot of people have they can have all the best of ideas outside, and when they get in, realize that it's so much more difficult than they had ever contemplated. But the reality is that we have a population that's becoming increasingly difficult, if not impossible, to govern in the way we want to, because of the expectations society have of us, because of the problems, the myriad problems that we're faced with as a society, and the biggest one of them is health.
Yes.
For the first time in my career, in 20-something years of practice, men are coming to me, and without even asking or any prompting, they're telling me, boy, mental health is a thing that I'm struggling with.
Remember I told you that?
Yes.
A gentleman, because I have a program on Wednesday mornings, and we have a doctor who comes in at 8:30, and we discuss all sorts of issues, whatever the issue is of the week. And a guy met me recently on the top of 4th Street, and he like, Miss, I need you to discuss men's mental health. And I was shocked, because generally speaking, you don't get men telling you, like, I'm struggling with anything, much less I'm struggling with my mind. Right?
Because, back to the same thing.
The same machismo.
We have sat down as men and discussed other men.
Other men.
And so, how do I now come and say I'm vulnerable? How do I now come and say, boy, I'm having this problem at home, or having this problem on the job, or having this problem at school, I have this problem at church, I have this problem here or there.
I'm having this problem with my children.
Correct. And so we just watch people and laugh and make fun of them, and we become the butt of the jokes, depending on, as I say, on construction site, it is very, very difficult. I've seen persons just go from construction site to construction site, because a construction site is a difficult place, a difficult environment to, once you're not strong-minded and strong-willed, you're going to have people come and pushing your buttons every day.
I think that's a part of our culture as well.
And so you have issues, and you would not be able to discuss it with them. You would have issues, and you say, well, if I got to tell these here that I have hemorrhoids, what am I supposed to say tomorrow?
Exactly.
If I have a cold,
I could only hear the conversation tomorrow.
And I don't know that we can quickly shape those things. So just to summarize, because we seem to be talking about several different things, but I really want to just bring this, and make this more cohesive in the sense that how do we shape? Because I have tried. There's very little influence I have over my colleagues as medical doctors. I can tell them as much as I want to, boy, let me tell you, you have to be reading up on the latest things, you have to be whatever and so on. I do hope that in the future of practice of medicine in this country, that there is true regulation around that. I think the idea that a doctor, once you are qualified, you're always qualified, for me is bananas. I think this is called the practice of medicine, which means that you're working towards perfection, which you may never arrive at, right? So it means that you have to continually, you must update yourself on what the latest practice and what new things are. We have a situation where when you get a registration, you come to school, you just come to school and you have permanent registration. You can go open a practice. You can go. When I came out of medical school 3 years in, and I was reluctant to open an office because I thought to myself, boy, can you imagine me alone if a patient and I don't have the coverage of my consultant or a registrar or a senior house officer, just me and that person in that office making a life decision about them. And we have people who are doing those things purely out of the motivation for money because doctors aren't properly paid in this country. But even so, there are ways in which we have to have common sense approaches in terms of how we regulate this practice. Every 2 years, you have to re-register, do a number of continuing medical education credits. Now, that's not something I can think. I can advocate for. I can speak as much as I want to till I'm blue in the face. So I'm focusing on patients. What is the sort of conversation you need to be having with your physician, with your healthcare provider, that's nurse, anybody who's in that space? What is the type of conversation that you need to be having, the questions you need to be asking? Because we are here doing this sort of banded approach to medicine where you come for the cough, and it's the cough you come from. And I understand it. If I was looking to become a millionaire in medical practice, I couldn't do what I'm doing. I'm looking for other ways to make money to support this practice because it's a time factor. In healthcare, there are only two metrics, is how much time it takes to see a patient and what's the cost per seeing patients. And those are the two things that any private organization is trying to control. See as many patients as you can in as less time as possible and make it as inexpensive as possible to the organization to achieve that.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why we move from physicians to physician assistants to, nurse practitioners because we're trying to pay less to get the same bang for the buck, right? That's where we are. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But if you're seeing 2 and 3 different individuals, then you should actually have a better sense of what your healthcare situation is like. You see what I'm saying? So what are you asking that physician when you go there? What are you accepting? What are you accepting as treatment? You go to a doctor and he says, doctor, I come for a general checkup, which is very misleading because there's no way to do a general checkup. To check possibly everything inside of one person to see what. No, but a general checkup means that I have a proper sense of what work you do. The work you do there, if you sit in that chair every day, then I perhaps looking for musculoskeletal disorders because you sit in there. If you look at sedentarism, right? If you have a family history of X, Y, or Z. So I am trying to find out what are some of the things that you are most likely to get that will make you sick or kill you. That's the reality. And it cannot be the same for everybody. So this is why I speak about environmental stuff and spiritual. The person who has, Nubian spoke about men when they meet. So I can go on a construction site, but the person who leaves a construction site to go into a home where he has a supportive wife and family or has religion that he goes to church on a Sunday is very different from the man who the only thing he has awaiting him is a wife who's nagging him when he gets home and a rum shop next door. That's it. There are many people who aren't dead but are slowly dying. I see them every day. Right? And the mental health issue is one of the greatest equalizers. Look, if you look at the news right now, one of the most renowned neuropsychiatrists, neurology and psychiatry, invented some of the most innovative treatments to treat chronic depression, major depressive disorders. Dr. Nolan Williams committed suicide.
Wow.
Okay? And this man is at Stanford, invented the SAINT therapy, which is neurostimulation and so on, to treat depressive disorder and the use of psychedelics and the likes, and committed suicide. He kite surfs all around the world. Okay? Taekwondo black belt. His wife is a doctor. 2 kids. And still could not withstand it. We may not be seeing men taking their lives here as much as possible, despite the fact that the statistic is for every 1 female that commits suicide, 5 men do it. And they're very successful at it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
A female get a boyfriend, she take all the birth control and come to it. She go, no, you take birth control. If you really want to commit suicide, there are a couple more creative ways to do that, right? But so a lot of it's all the hysteria that you see. But men are dying slowly. They're either dying because they're not going to see a doctor. They're either dying because their relationship with their spouse is in their home and so on. Those things, internally, that person is slowly dying. It's a slow walk to death. And so many of our men, I say we because I'm a product of this society, so therefore I'm battling the very same things. So that is the type of conversation, because healthcare can no longer be a doctor-patient situation. Healthcare has to be all of us.
Correct. Do you think that men have it a bit more difficult because we can't? When I go to you and ask you, well, check on me and see what's going on, what do I do with that information after? Where do I go with it? Because I have all these obligations to my home. I have all these obligations to my society. I have all these obligations to myself. Now, based on our healthcare system here in St. Kitts and how it's deplorable and falling apart, what do I do with that information? When you tell me I have prostate cancer, what do I do? Am I willing for you to tell me I have prostate cancer? What do I do? What I have kids to take care of, I have my family to take care of, I have this image to put, but I just hold on to it, and if it's there, and then when I die, I die.
And that's why some people don't even want to know.
And then it's going to cause me now to go to the bank to get a loan. I don't have insurance because insurance was never a big deal. There is no universal health insurance. What do I do? Why would I want you to tell me I have heart failure, or I'm going to get a stroke soon, I'm going to get a heart condition soon? What do I do with that? Yeah. Because at that point in time, I am not a man anymore. I am reduced to one of my children. And I have small children, and I become a burden, not only to myself, to my family, to my community, to the system, hoping to get a little pension. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can I survive off a pension? Or am I hurrying up to reach 65 to get something? Yeah. Or should I get sponsor sheets? Yeah. What does that do for me?
Yeah, no, I mean you're asking all the right questions, and this is why one, to your point, it's hard to get men into the clinic to get those diagnoses. I spoke of a when I was on Saturday, I spoke of this gentleman that I saw. His blood pressure 220 over 130.
And he said he had a touch of pressure.
He has a touch of pressure. And when his boss was trying
like
to...
a touch.
Yeah, a touch of pressure. And when his boss was trying to get him to the hospital, he said he was going to pee. He ran to the bush and never came back. Right? And when I eventually caught up with this guy several months later, which means that he could have had a stroke between the time I saw this pressure and when he actually started getting treatment for it. He broke down crying about his son, that he loves his son so much that he just cannot imagine getting a diagnosis that would say he have 10 years left with his son, or 6 years. He just doesn't want it.
Yeah.
And I'm getting goosebumps saying this because if St. Kitts was the only place I worked, I say, but it's a St. Kitts problem. No, but having Grenada, St. Lucia, Trinidad, Barbados, all over the Caribbean, everywhere you work, it's the same story. Yeah. So I ask you, and I'm so happy to have a woman here. Somebody, your man comes home, your husband comes home with a diagnosis, and it doesn't have to be terminal in the sense that there's cancer at any stage. It could be something as simple as, boy, when the doctor said I have hypertension. Mm-hmm. How do you, as a woman, receiving that news? And I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm simply, because we're talking about men's health, we're leaning more towards that. How do you receive that news? How do you process it? What do you think is the right approach at that point in terms of, somebody's arriving now and suddenly something has changed?
But I think you have to give some sort of reassurance that, okay, this is the situation, but we'll deal with it, right? And then find a plan as to dealing with it. For me, the first thing I'll talk about is, look at maybe is the diet, because most times women are the ones who are cooking in the house. Right. So you can kind of control that.
Except you're in my home.
That's why I said most times, right? You deal with it.
But you see, Jamie, it's a bit more involving than that, because now to eat healthy is far more expensive. And now it might mean that you gotta work less hours. And so now you gotta get more fruits, more vegetables, more this, more that. Rice is, the bad stuff is always more cheaper and more accessible than the healthier stuff. So does hypertension messes with your ability to have sex?
It can.
It can. So then there is probably a point in time where you might have a sexless relationship. And so you're going through all of these factors. Well, it's going to cost more now that you have hypertension. It's going to cost more, in the fact, more strain on the relationship because you might not be able to perform how you normally perform.
The thing that
You might not
those
bring
are
it-
the things that may be going through your mind, bringing home the diagnosis. But coming to me, I'm not going to jump to that. That's not going to be going through my mind. My thing going to be, how do we deal with this?
So that's a very good point.
Yeah.
But you see, here's what it is. So the question is, you've been in a relationship for 5-10 years. Married or
Now,
unmarried,
if it's
doesn't
a
matter.
new man, okay, well, you could go.
Okay.
No, but
Right, so right
if it's somebody who I just talking to, like, your diagnosis is yours, what I got to do with me, right? But if it's
Okay, then this show difficult to have it.
So that man's pressure went from 180 to over 100 to 200 and something.
he ain't care that much.
Exactly.
He ain't care that
That's a
much.
stroke.
He
That's a
probably,
stroke
let me tell you,
reaction.
right?
That's a stroke. That's a stroke reaction.
Let me tell you, right? And we're being frank.
Yeah.
We're speaking about our society. In that situation, he probably got 10 other females he talking to. So let them deal with it. Right? You understand? If it is a serious relationship where we have been together for more than a year, you see how long gone? More than a year. We're going to deal with it.
Okay.
That is what is going through my mind. I don't care what happened, we're going to deal with it.
But how about, again, when I spoke of burden of disease, because every time this man leaves there and he may be thinking more about this relationship with you than you thinking about it with him. He gets a stroke.
I doubt that happening. I doubt he thinking more about the relationship than as a man.
But that's such for argument's sake, he's doing that. But the thing is that, so this is why, when I go to the churches, my topic is always, am I my brother's keeper? The Bible has a good story about that brother's keeper, where a brother kills his other and sort of thing, and and then God, knowing fully what he had done, asked him, "Where's your brother?" And yes, am I my brother's keeper? And the brother's keeper, I like to use that because I ask men, after I walk them through the whole thing in terms of how they're encouraging death in their friends by driving fast, by drinking, by encouraging them to run women and be promiscuous and stuff like that, and so on. We're leading our brothers down a path of destruction and calling it friendship.
Exactly.
Right? But women are also brother's keeper too as well, in the sense that you may not necessarily take on the responsibility or the burden of helping this man solve his problem, pay for his medication, but you may have some information to impart. I think right now, any type of isolation, social isolation otherwise, I looked at GNF. And if you got GNF right now, the male side of the ward is always more full than the female side. And when you ask the length of hospitalization, it's always longer. Why? Because that same man has 10 people who are thinking like you, that he has another one who can come and pick it up. And not they all thinking the same thing, and he has nobody in the end of the
And you know
day.
who is at fault for that situation?
Who is that?
The man who got the 10 women.
No, so society's at fault.
No, man, what happened? I said what I said. That's what I said. No, my thing is, I have seen that. I have seen situations where a guy gets in a horrible accident, and 4 and 5 women at the hospital arguing over this one man.
That's a rarity.
I have seen
I probably saw this twice in my 20s.
Twice is a lot, right? So my thing is, at the end of the day, you have to make better choices. And what you spoke about being your brother's keeper, is important. Because men cannot be encouraging men to be living these kind of life because, I'm a man. You encourage, even on the same construction site.
Right.
You're encouraging men to abuse women. You're encouraging men, but handle she and that kind of thing. When it's the same person, they have to go home too. That's the same person who probably is going to provide some kind of health care for you in the future.
Because I guess one of the points is we don't know how to properly be our brother's keeper.
We don't.
Our idea of what a brother's keeper is...
And then our idea of what a man is
correct,
skewed.
Is skewed a bit. Because, you do that. Or you let him do that, and instead of saying, boy, listen, that ain't make no sense. That ain't make no sense. Cool out. Let's go. Think about it. The best decision that you could make in life, and I've learned that, is I'll deal with it tomorrow. Especially when it's an emotional decision, deal with it tomorrow. Not go home,
say, I go and sleep.
Deal with it tomorrow.
Yeah, you just go sleep.
And you have a note in your pocket that says not today, tomorrow. Every day you get up, you read it, not today, tomorrow. You put it back in the pocket.
Yeah,
right.
Deal with it tomorrow because what the bad friend will do is say, boy, don't let him do that there to you, or don't let her do that there to you, or do this or do that. How do we become our brother's keeper in the true sense of the word?
So, Jamie and Newbin, you understand why it makes no sense when we talk. Hypertension is a disease that affects whatever and so on. I sound well intelligent and everything. I say, why, the doctor smarter? No, let's talk about, because it makes no sense handing out diagnosis and taking away hope. Because that's what we do.
But then how do we go about fixing these problems? Because you being here...
Now we're starting to treat patients.
You're being here for 40 minutes. Yeah. We're having the discussion. Yeah. People are listening and saying, yeah, that probably makes sense. But where do we go from here?
And here's why, more than where we go from here, here's why we actually have an obligation to tackle those things. I said some statistics at the time. I'm going to repeat them because of the value they hold. 40% of the average household income is spent on healthcare in the Caribbean. 40%. It means almost half your paycheck, every 40 cents on every dollar is spent on healthcare. And look at the quality of healthcare we have. Okay? Look at the quality of healthcare we have. We have drugs coming in this country from places that we don't even know about. It can be down some way down the alley, wherever the pharmacist can get it from. That's where we get it. So as doctors, we don't even know.
Or made in a whole house in Iraq. I've seen a whole documentary on it where they're making. I don't want to mention any particular drug, but they're making the drugs in a little bath pan in a house somewhere in Pakistan.
Right. So if you're a doctor who actually monitors your patients, you can actually see patients become decompensated. They're taking the medication every day, but they just change either the pharmacy or the supplier. We have no regulation around that. We have pharmacies who are selling expired drugs to people. I ask myself, the number of pharmacies we have, it is impossible that pharmacies are making sufficient money. I'm not knocking any pharmacy. The fact is there are ways to do things correctly because of the importance. If you're a pharmacist and I cannot see, I want to see when the drug expires. Don't come give it to me in a bottle and I get and count it for me. Where you take it from, I want to see what the expiry date on it is. Those are things that patients should be asking. Because if we have 15 pharmacies in this country for a population of 35,000 people, and I say 45,000 adults who are buying, ask yourself whether or not a pharmacy is really getting that type of traffic to get away with the drugs. It's not profitable. So you have to be selling expired drugs. And if you sell expired drugs, it means that my patient isn't getting the drug with the level of efficacy. So we have patients chasing their blood pressure, chasing their this and so on, that kind of thing, right? Those are some of the hard conversations. Those are some of the hard truths that we have to talk about, right? So where do we go from here? Well, we have to start from the building blocks with honest conversation. And this is what I have in my office with patients. Honest conversation. There are pharmacies I trust and there are pharmacies I question. There are pharmacies I question for certain drugs that sell versus pharmacies. Because I cannot, I'm not going to put my nose in your business. I monitor my patient. I want to know, send me a copy of your blood pressure over the whatever and so on every time I change something. He spoke about erectile dysfunction. If a man comes to me, I don't just say, give him a Tenolol or beta blocker, because I know a beta blocker is going to cause erectile dysfunction. If a beta blocker slows down the heart rate, it means
you're going to be alive.
Alive? But for there are a lot of men. There are a lot of men. Yours truly. Me and the master have already had a conversation and said, let me tell you something, this must die after me. Reality, because no. But 80% of your what you just there for what? No.
And those are the responsibilities of a man.
Right.
What do you do? Do you negate that responsibility?
Do you know the level of insecurity that comes? Men are already walking around insecure because.
But again, it's all. I'm speaking to you from a woman's perspective. So for me, you're alive. You're not.
Really?
Yeah, you're
alive with no signs of life.
Okay.
You have signs of life. You're talking. You're walking. You're doing a lot of
you
things.
must be a special woman. I mean, honestly, I after I leave here, I'm gonna look how to clone you because.
Anyway, let's move on.
But these are the conversations because we mustn't wait for when this man comes to you with the hypertension. We should be having conversations that says, as we're getting older, we just spoke about the fact that we're getting old.
Yes.
But the question is, what does that mean beyond just the humor? In the sense that if I'm in a relationship with somebody in my 40s, my 30s, my 40s, I am having conversations around disease. What are in place? What does health insurance look like?
Yes.
What happens in whatever and so on? What is in your family? Because we're talking about all the dating things and so on. We want to know people's assets. We want to know their job. We want to know how many women they had and man they have. But we don't ask about their health history.
How much woman and how much man they have?
Yeah, I don't ask that anymore. I haven't dated in a very long time.
You have asked that?
About
how many men you had? You ever asked a woman how many men she had?
Serious relationship.
And she answer you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
because it goes back to what you just said about me thinking about that because 15 other women gonna come up here and deal with you. So me wonder it's you.
So she asked you that?
Past, yeah, and of course those are because I'm not ashamed of my past.
You know why I'm not asking anybody that question?
Why?
Because I don't believe they're gonna tell me the truth.
That's what you don't believe, but there are relationships.
I just feel like
there are relationships that those questions are fundamental.
Well, I think that, and let me say, it's less about the truth. Is about the standards you're establishing for your relationship. There's a baseline that you must establish for your relationship, and it mustn't just happen upon, because that's your life. For every person that person has had, that person has had, 5 sexual partners. Just if you have somebody who have 10,
you see,
just do the multiples of that. Right?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but the question is, I need to know have you had an STD? Have you had, what is your health history like? But I also want to know what your family died from.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I'm saying 40% of our income can go towards healthcare, I am saying that getting in with you, it means that I have to now think in terms of what can we realistically build and achieve together. If just now you might get heart failure, you might get something that's going to wipe off.
And if you're planning to have children, you have to know these things.
You have to know these things.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I believe that we need to have that's going to make it a lot easier for me, because there's nothing that makes me more excited than when I see a man and woman come together in my office and there's only one of them sick. Because I know I'm getting the real story. And I sit and I speak to them and understand. Because we're also part of building relationships. Because nobody asks, when you get a diagnosis of something, what do you do? What's the next step? I have spent every last cent of mine creating a platform for that very purpose, because I believe that healthcare must happen in a single space. I believe that my Go Doctor platform is to achieve just that. It's not for doctors, it's for healthcare providers. Because if you've seen a psychiatrist, a therapist, a physiotherapist, a doctor here, a doctor over there, and you have a piece of your medical record all over the place, that no one doctor ever gets a true picture of what your health profile is really like. Yeah. So Go Doctor helps to solve that in the sense that I would like people that wherever they travel in the world, wherever they see a doctor, wherever they receive care, that their health history all comes to the same place. So it's one central place. People shouldn't have to be thinking so hard about, when I have a headache, is it a neurologist? Is it a neurosurgeon? Is it just my doctor? Is it my pressure? Healthcare, that's not what healthcare is. And we cannot afford for people to get sick. So we have to think of wellness.
Okay. Gentlemen, can we take a break and then open the line?
Sure.
Because, the time is going. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll hear from our audience.
Check it out. The island's biggest adventure hits the road on Saturday, November 22nd, 2025.
It's the Rotary Club of St. Kitts Carnival Car Rally. Fun, prizes, and community spirit collide. Starting at Frigate Bay Lawn at 9:30 a.m., ending with a mouth-watering barbecue and car show at Rotary House, Portland from 12 p.m.
Win up to $5,000 in cash and carnival costumes packages.
All registered teams get gift bags from Goldmine Jewelry Store.
Check out new rides from CNC, TDC, and SL Horsfords.
With financing from Republic Bank, CIBC Caribbean, the Bank of Nevis, SKCCU, TDC Financial Services, and insurance from TDC Insurance.
Party with DJ Taro and DJ Smudge with sunset ticket giveaways.
So grab your crew, decorate your ride, and hit the road for a cause. Team registration Registration $250. Barbecue $25 per meal. Be there to win.
The countdown is on. The sweetest season of the year is here. From December 13th to January 2nd, St. Kitts and Nevis comes alive once more with vibes galore, energy to explore, and moments sweeter than ever before. Sugar Max 54, sweet to the core. The stage erupts with the passion of Calypso, the sweet sound of Pan, the heat of soca, dazzling pageants and traditions that make you love Carnival even more. Dance to the streets at Juve, celebrate folklore, and revel in the Grand Carnival Parade, a celebration of rhythm, color, culture. Sugar Mass 54, sweet to the core.
For life's finest moments, celebrate them with Skoal Premium Lager. Pure malt, pure class, pure perfection. Skoal, class and perfection in a bottle.
Reliable, dependable, Delta. If you live here in St. Kitts and your tank on E, there's only one place that you should be. Maybe driving in Nevis and you need some fuel. Go straight to Delta. Don't be a fool. Get your cooking gas fast. All petroleum needs ULSD. Everyone in the region is shouting, go Delta. Premium gasoline in a fully stocked C-store. So there's only one place you should be. Delta Petroleum, baby.
What if your money did more than sit in an account? What if it built dreams, supported families, and empowered futures? At St. Kitts Credit Union, we're more than a financial institution. We're a family that believes in your potential, rooted in people helping people. Enjoy competitive savings rates and low-interest loans for mortgages, vehicles, education, and more. Need security for you or your loved ones? The Family Indemnity Plan and Loan Protection Insurance give your loved ones peace of mind, whether you're saving for school, building your business, or planning for tomorrow. SKCU is here for you. It's not just about banking, it's about belonging. Contact us at 465-2272 or any of our branches. Learn more online at www.skccu.com. Become a member today and be a part of something greater.
Hey, Webmaster here. I stay connected to Freedom with the Freedom SKN app. Simply search for the Freedom app in the Android's Play Store or the Apple's App Store and download it. Enjoy world-class radio at its best, anytime, anywhere. Become a Freedom apper today.
Listen, we don't have much time this afternoon, but we'll bring back Dr. Pierre once he's available.
We will.
And we're going to open the lines. The numbers to call in are 662-1065, 465-6474, or 465-0546. Let's take this call. Good. Oh, we missed that one. But the numbers are 662-1065, 465-6474, or 465-0546. Let's try again. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jamie.
Hi, good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Lubian and the doctor.
Good afternoon. Yeah, man. Good afternoon, my brother. How is it?
The people from the Rotary left.
Coming and telling these men to go and check the passport because they don't want to check the passport and they're going to dead like limo them, you know. and Brian and them, This thing is real. Jamie.
Yeah.
This afternoon, my input today is about poor people in the Pelican Mall. In the market, and making the money. And representative in Central Bastia is keeping a blind eye to what's going on in Port Zante. And this poor people defender is name pleased with what's going on down there. With these people are making the money. Coming Lobians from various parts of the country. They got the money, they got the chance, they got to pick up to come and play the trade. And they left right in the back, Carmen Cadallo, right in the minister face.
Okay, caller. I think we're gonna have a program. We're gonna have a program about tourism, right? Because we're right in the middle of the tourism season. So we're gonna touch it, okay?
You can't be fair.
No.
Let me speak. It's a big concern. It's poor people, That President bill off a we Simmons went in Barclays Bank. Lobian, Simmons went in there and took $49 million to reclaim the land down here. How we could come in last? We should be the beneficiary in down here making a dollar. I see a boat out there in the welcome hall, outside there by the welcome hall, giving out bags. Where the hell I see you? The minister can't get two pens and return the poor people and we're making nothing and bring them out there to make a dollar. When Simmons was building the pier, they had to go up there by the dock. Simmons said, for sail on, last sail off. Go in the vendor's market, Nubia, you're a politician. Ask all of them how much money do you get? No, we people can't make the money. The Indians, they may help us build them here, They never poor help me. And we petition individual
Manners.
Yes, Nubian.
Yes, we can all agree that the spending power of the regular man right now is a issue. And as Jamie said, I don't want to come and entertain a small conversation. Hold on there, Manners.
That's why I called in.
Hold on, Manners.
Politician who I run.
Hold on, Manners.
My constituents in Poe to come as well and look at it. It's terrible. We can't sell in that to the people. We ain't got nothing against them. I have a lot of good friends down here. But once petition was left out the pie, I will talk. Poor people, defender. I want a politician. You hear what the man tell you? You hear what Dr. Pierre tell you?
Yeah, but...
As the politician.
Correct.
They just don't want you to take it out here. We want you to take it when you got there. You're executing there.
Correct, but manners, listen what I'm saying.
Yes, Logan, man, I no time, man, I no lot of money.
Right, but what I'm saying, manners, listen, manners.
Okay.
Manners.
Yes, Logan.
What I'm saying, right, is that I would want us to have a full conversation about it. That's what I would want us to do. So what I would do, hold on, manners, hold on.
Political. They're playing blind to it, but when they're meeting me, they come and talking and telling me all kind of things.
Right. So I was saying, manners, what I would want us to do, I don't want to have a half a conversation about it. So not
we're gonna go down there.
We're gonna reach down there and we're gonna sort it out properly.
I will be down there. This is why people
right.
And they're gonna protect poor people here.
Right.
Okay, manners. Thank you for
I get knocked out. One of them locked me up and all.
Okay. Thank you so much for that contribution. Let's take this call. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Greetings, Serena.
Greetings.
And then to your guests, give thanks for the reason we had priceless wealth, as I would say. We are listening, and the situation is pretty, because you see, as while the health situation in our midst is like this, people are still addictive to things that is causing it. You see people in line to look food or drink or whatever. That is the root causes of these things. And I hear you all attack using the T to lead the grave. And I hear you all just some hospital to grave. And I hear you all talking about relationship. You see, most of the human them, if not all, they give good things enough to all because he would be a doom. Most of the human them I say, no loud again, you know. No loud again, the spirit take or whatever. So that means in relationship, when man start to go through things that is not pleasant health-wise, it's hard to find a woman who can stick by the side, you know. Impotency go right through, you know. Yeah, so we're in a serious crisis when it comes to health. Once again, give thanks to the reasoning, and we need to change our death style. It's not the lifestyle, because it was lifestyle, we wouldn't be having all these problems. It's death style, hip style, and death style. Give thanks to the time.
Thank you so much, caller, for that contribution. The lines are quiet at the moment, but we can take 2 more calls. Novian has to go and pick up his children from school, so we're going to...
I know.
Okay. Good afternoon. You're live. We're going to make it quick because we got to go.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The grill. Good afternoon. I'll ask 2 quick questions of the doctor. Doctor, hear me?
Come on.
Yes. One, like guineas, the only, okay, like one man body can just take 1 guineas per day. And it might not even broke down the different ingredients and the guineas. The body still might not even broke down that day, now 1 day. But then you find now somebody having 5, 6 guineas, one behind the other. Okay, so you answer that there when we hang up. Then, the next question. As one duck, you know, people look out different people, for example. And like you say, smoking is dangerous. But look out the world, you find you find a lot of doctors just smoke. Like one evening, not too long ago, we meet one in a supermarket. And in a really aware region, but he here, make a most of it. And he come and go look after Howie. So he come to the supermarket and he buy 2 big pack of mental, you know, the mental. So one might tell me no trouble and one might tell me trouble. Me said, no. He said, Doc, you come and go look after me, right? So I can't allow you to kill yourself, because when you kill yourself, now go look after me. You understand me? That. So could you just give me a little quick advice on those 2 questions? Can I hear you?
Okay, caller, thank you for calling all the way from Montserrat, doctor.
Yeah.
His questions were about Guinness and smoking.
Yeah, so at first about Guinness, I think he asked if 1 Guinness a day is you know, again, Guinness is alcohol. I don't tell people don't drink any alcohol. The question is how much are you consuming, right? Somebody drinks the equivalent of 3 to 4 beers a week. That doesn't necessarily, there's no research that shows that is inherently more harmful than some of the other things we're exposed to, like stress, right? But I think that and because he spoke of Guinness, I'm going to stick to that, because there are so many men. There are bars. There's a bar I can go to right now after I live here, and find men here who believe that Guinness actually lends to the sexual prowess. Like, you know, like they
never heard that?
Right?
Yeah, but
they said
They said they're going to prime up.
So you can 4 and 5 Guinness and 2 Magnum, right? And they believe that that's going to actually
help them.
Yeah, but not only that, but not only is that it's not going to help, because alcohol increases the desire, what reduces the effect. So you want a lot of sex, but you can't really perform, right? What it does is that it impedes the brain's ability to actually process the pleasure that you should actually be feeling during this. If you're drunk, you don't really feel much pleasure, so you're lasting longer, and you figure that's, you know. But imagine that's a man who's actually deriving pleasure purely from the fact that he has a woman pinned down for a good 45 minutes an hour, and he feels that he's performing. Even when is the reason why a man can actually use Blackstone or China brush and like back in the days to use and so on, and numb the head of your penis.
But that is what they get from the
used to do
female
that.
because
it exists today.
Because the
They are
female
condoms.
I've never
long,
heard about
long
that.
love condom. That's what it has in it.
Yes.
In it, inside of it, is a gel to numb
To
the penis.
numb?
Yeah, so you don't. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And so a woman would say, "Oh well, he came and he left in 2 minutes." So
Yeah. Because
and so it's measured on that,
right.
Nothing else.
There's song about 2-minute man. I'm sure you heard the songs, right? So that's what men are up against. And a man is saying that he would actually compromise on feeling pleasure just so he's not a 2-minute man.
And that 2-minute man name don't reach on the construction site.
On the construction site, right? because women will throw it at you, and what that does to a man's ego.
But listen, even if it's not true, right? You ever realize once a woman and a man no longer together, you hear those kind of things from the woman. Oh,
yes.
He was never this. Oh, he was that. And I'm like, but you stayed with this man who was never this.
But it's always the things that dig at this man's ego.
Yes.
I don't hear a man and a woman break up, and you may hear about certain qualities she has and so on. But in terms of her performance sexually and stuff like that,
they talk about that too.
Really, I couldn't even possibly imagine what that would look like a woman's.
I can tell you off the air.
Okay, no,
I can't really say it on the air.
May want hear. So the second question that he asked about is about the doctor and smoking and whatever and so on. Listen, I started by saying about Nolan Williams, the medical doctor who actually committed suicide. Doctors are not immune. We are a product of our society, ultimately. You heard this woman who called a while ago, Manners? Do you hear the stress and a man? Yeah. Okay. So, Manners, do you hear the stress that person has?
Yeah.
That person has stress for whatever reason, but that stress is very prevalent in our society today, That's one of the expressions of it. But that is very, very prevalent in our society today. So the doctor that you think of is just as stressful. Remember, not very long ago, there were doctors working at Domino's to make up their salary, yeah? Not long ago, last year, 2 years ago? Yeah. There were doctors who had to go to work at Domino's to try to make up their source of income. A doctor right now in St. Kitts is paid $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month. Wow. Right? There are doctors who, when they finish work at 11 and 12 o'clock at the roadside trying to see how they can get home, they're going back into those very same societies with the very same problems. So a doctor is going to actually tap into the same toxic, unhealthy stress management mechanisms, promiscuity, alcohol,
every day,
whatever type of drugs you can have access to, anything that they can find. So we are trying to lead by example, but that is not always possible.
Okay, this is our final call for today. Good afternoon.
And I'm happy I'm the final call. Yes, caller. Yes, Nobian.
What you say, brother?
What you say? How is everything? I was listening,
Everything.
Yeah, everything good.
Okay. When you say that you asked how many women you had, and you relay that to her, isn't that so? Hello.
Go ahead, caller. Yeah.
What works for one may not work for the other.
So would you have answered, caller?
That could be
Would you have answered that question?
Well, it all depends, but
but what it depend on? It all depends on what?
Jamie, let me finish now. Jamie, you could be opening up a can of worms. The reason being, once you said the amount, you had about 10. Who they are? Well, Mary up the street, Mary there, that could be. My thing is that both of you can agree to say, hey, let us go for some tests. I believe in that. But saying how many partners you had in the past, no, don't get me wrong, but you're one of a kind. I love you for that. But I believe it could open up a can of worm, and it can work on that lady emotionally, or even the man. When they see they say Jane or Terry. Well, I wonder if Terry, no. I feel like I would leave that alone. Trust me. That's my take on that. Bless you.
Thank you so much, caller. But I agree with you. I totally agree because it's true. There's certain things you don't want to know.
But I think for me, it's more about how we stimulate conversation, open conversation. I think there are couples who just don't converse, and I find it rather odd that you can sleep with somebody, share the most intimate parts of yourself with another person, and yet still not
You
know,
don't have a conversation.
no conversation at all,
Yeah.
none whatsoever. There are women until the rabbit and the rose came around. 80% of Caribbean women had never experienced an orgasm.
Let's talk about
Right?
that.
Had
What?
never
That in
experienced an
itself is-
orgasm.
it's true.
yeah.
You never heard that?
And not only that, of the 80% who never had an orgasm, 90% of them thought they did
Until they had a rose.
until they really had one.
Wow, that's
And that's why a lot of men don't like this rose.
That is
Yeah.
and that's facts.
Facts. Paho. 80% of Caribbean women had not experienced an orgasm, and so many of them thought they did because they got there. They feel that so these are the things. So again, all I'm saying is that, and this may be very entertaining and humorous to people, but I'm saying that unless we as a society, starting at the table and in the bedroom, don't start having conversations that in some form or fashion shape the decisions we make around our health, we're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
At all.
It makes no sense. I go and somewhere and so diabetes is a this and so on. It makes no sense because you can go and get that information. The question is, what do you do with that information? How are you processing it? What is the support system you have to help you deal with this? Because I remember, I'm telling you, in 2000 many years ago, some man, I was giving a talk, and the man said to me that convinced that diabetes is a sexually transmitted disease.
What?
Right? And no matter what I did, the man said to me, let me tell you, before I met this woman, I never had diabetes. I met this woman, if I started sleeping with her, if I started sleeping with her, I got diabetes. And so much so that we were so far apart on the issue that the whole town hall broke down, never continued. After this man, he disrupted the place so much. But he was right. It took me 20 years to find out how right he was.
Yes.
His diet changed completely.
Mm-hmm.
He now had a woman in house cooking, and she was baking, cooking, everything and so on for him. So yes, there was the risk of diabetes, but she accelerated his path towards diabetes, and she was diabetic because eating from the same pot. You see what I mean? So
Right,
yes,
right.
it's not sexually transmitted in the truest sense of the
Exactly.
fact that
But
if you live in the same home and you have the same thing, you suffer from the same diseases.
I once heard that these diseases are not necessarily hereditary, and maybe you can speak to that because in reading further, I learned that you learn how you eat from your parents. So if your parents eats a lot of junk, you grow up and you eat a lot of junk, right? So whatever ailments your parents had, you most likely will get the same ailments because you treat your body in the same kind of way.
Right.
There's also
And that for me was mind-blowing because when we look at some of these diseases, they're preventable.
No, in fact, actually, all of what's killing us, the chronic non-communicable diseases, are preventable. If not in totality, the complications of them are. So you're right about the whole genetic things. And what we don't talk about is epigenetics. It means that you may not have been born with that, but over time, the environment, a person who has chronic stress, their child is born with the same risk factors of the stress that's been caused, because it's actually changing the genetic makeup of that child. Yeah. So epigenetics is an important thing. So as a society, we have to be very careful what we continue to perpetuate, because we are creating offsprings that are already coming off the production line with those genes already set in, waiting for that disease. So you're absolutely correct, but more so as well of the eating pattern. Somebody spoke earlier, the first caller spoke about eating junk and whatever and so on. I spoke about it. Sugar is more addictive than cocaine. Right?
Tell me about it.
Right?
I have lived that. Listen, I have lived that, and I don't know if I've said it on the air before, but I swear I am addicted to sugar, and if I have sugar today, trust me, I'm gonna want it tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. It's like a drug.
So that's why for me all the idea of this diet and no carb diet and so on, I say don't do that because then eventually you're going to find that carb, you're going to start picking out. It's very hard for you. You can't just tell somebody you want cocaine to just stop it. So you shouldn't do the same thing for sugar. So it's a lifestyle change. How do you gradually start cutting back on this where you make that lifestyle? And it has to be something that's supported. You on your own in your house can't decide that you're going to stop sugar and stop salt, whatever, and so on. And
that has been my biggest challenge in life, sugar. And that may sound like It's not a challenge. But even as a little girl, I remember my grandmother used to give me tea. And the tea was never sweet enough because I was always eating the sugar, like taking a pinch of the sugar. I used to eat raw sugar, right? So nothing you give me was ever sweet enough because it was always
Nothing
at all, right? So
your boyfriend doesn't listen to this show, does he?
Right? So sugar was really a problem for me, and that's why I don't like, when there's the notion that you could give your children a lot of sweets and whatever because they're children and they'll it's okay. They'll outgrow it.
Yeah.
I never outgrew wanting sweets.
No, but it's addictive. And this is why, so when I speak of the all of society approach, I'm talking about even the vendors that we see out here. I want to support the vendors sometimes, the small vendor on the road.
Right.
But the amount of sugar in some of those juices that they're selling there, I mean, it's even the food at JNF that patients get. The amount of salt and sugar in those things and so on, not even that is being controlled. You're right for a patient at the hospital, diabetic diet and hypertensive diet, and you'll come and see everybody has the same food, eating the same thing.
Wow.
Right? We give patients Spam. I've never seen Spam for such a long time. And chicken Vienna sausages and stuff like that. Things are loaded with sodium, and a hypertensive patient eats those things. So everything that we eat, I can ask how many people here put in sugar in the red beans, sugar in there. I mean, the number when you stew in your food and you're making all the gravy brown is sugar. Is sugar you burn?
And you burn the sugar, and you burn the sugar before
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So sugar is highly addictive, and this is what is at the root cause of some of the things. So Nubian, we can speak ad nauseum about this, but the thing is that when you assume office and you add, it's going to become one of the greatest challenges you will face in terms of how you actually apportion a dollar towards healthcare. Because right now, as far as I know, St. Kitts is spending under 4% of GDP on health. The OECD is asking for us to get to at least 6.something% of GDP. I don't see us being able to do that at all. Certainly not right now, for sure. You're at the US, 23% of GDP on healthcare, and still not getting it right. When you look at the cost it is to really provide, and this is why I think that it's so misleading to talk about state of the art, and smart this and smart that. There are things that we will never be able to have as a small society. We cannot. In the US, there are 167 specialties. You think we're going to have that in St. Kitts? We won't.
Do you think universal healthcare would affect our decision-making process?
But universal healthcare is about access. The question is access to what? Right? It's about access. It's about ensuring that at least we solve the problem of inequity. Everybody is accessing, irrespective of what your station in life is and where health finds you and whatever. Everybody has access. But access to what? If and this is why when you speak to folks at the Chamber of Commerce, and I say to myself, well, there's a good way we can get employers in and contribute towards universal health care so people can actually afford it. They can get the test done and everything. And so on. Employers will say, but then if we do this and people are still as sick as they were before, getting access to healthcare does not solve the problem, because people still taking as much sick leave because we don't have the quality of specialists. We don't have the support structures. If as a diabetic you've never had a 24-hour urine protein because a doctor doesn't see the wisdom in actually, we have to create standards around how we manage those diseases. In the primary healthcare, we have to bolster that. And I think that's where we should spend a lot of our efforts. So when we do that, we can say we've created a system that if people can only get access to this, if you can only get them in through the door, on the other side of that door exists a treatment, exists a standard that's going to help them.
A mechanism.
But all those things are good window dressing. They make for good political talking points. But it does not and it will not solve our problem because we don't have a healthcare infrastructure. We don't have a healthcare service delivery system that can, at this point, as far as I'm aware, improve people's outcomes in terms of health. We have to create those things first. And then we say, let's open the door and give everybody access to it.
Right.
But none of what we're doing right now. I think it's unfortunate that we're so disorganized around something like that, because as a small society, we are very homogeneous societies. Now we have multiple ethnicities and we have different religions and things that are so hard to implement. We're mostly black people in this place. So we can come around and we can see that things are affecting us equally. We can come and we can actually coalesce around these issues and create real meaningful solutions. But universal healthcare, smart hospital, they're all good, but that does not solve the fundamental problem when people cannot ask you how many partners you had. No, I just but I'm talking about the conversation. So universal healthcare in and of itself, and as somebody who helped implement universal healthcare in St. Lucia, I can tell you that on its own, one of the first things that Dr. Stephen King and I discussed when universal healthcare started in St. Lucia was, boy, how do we get a doctor to say that they're going to sit down in the health center rather than actually try to go and see how they make their money in their private practice? How to run for patients? Doctors in the health center having prescriptions pre-written for patients.
Wow.
That's a fact. Pre-written. And just hand it out like candy because you want to get out that quickly so you can go to your practice to make it the real money. And Stephen King, and I sat and we spoke and he said, Al, how much do you think a doctor makes a year in the private practice? Mm-hmm. You may not be able to give a doctor the amount they're making in a year in their private practice, but if you get close enough, it says, boy, do I want to go and struggle and open a practice, or do I want to just stay in my 8 hours in the health center and treat patients properly so that it disincentivizes you to say, let me go and open a practice so you don't have the two things competing with each other. These are some of the things that you need to have a conversation around that. If a doctor is trying to do a march past to get a salary here so he can go and make the real money in his office, people are getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
So that's the type of conversations that we need to have. And as we do that, we then reinforce what patients need to actually be doing when they sit in front of their doctor, the questions they ask. Patients, I tell families, have a health notebook. Write everything down that you come up throughout the day. Think questions, because when you come and sit in front of the doctor, you're trying to think of the most important thing. You forget everything that you're supposed to ask. So prepare for your visit. Write those things down. So when you come, you actually have a conversation. Say, boy, doc, I saw something the other day. Because the doctor learns too.
Mm-hmm.
Neem, garlic, all, a guy came to me there and talked about some bush, what wasn't it, prickly nettle or something, whatever, and so on.
Stinging nettle?
Stinging nettle for prostate. Things that people send me and read. That you don't notice those things like they say, wow, we have that, you have that right here in our society. This man from Keon tell me he grows it and he has it.
It's not weed
right?
in my yard.
How we use weed, marijuana, and well, cannabis. Let's use the more scientific term for it, and the value that it has. But we keep clutching at straws like this, and we're not making. There's no real traction. There's no real traction because we just latch onto what's popular. We like the optics of it, but in terms of implementation, we suck at implementing stuff. So nothing that we've done has gained any real meaningful traction. I came from a meeting a while ago, just to close, with an NGO a little while ago there, and we're talking, and she's speaking of the level of frustration. This is somebody who has the capacity to attract millions of dollars in funding, yet cannot find a way to work with the government around some of the same issues we're fighting. All of us want to be fighting in our little silos.
Yeah.
If we came together, man, just imagine, if patients are speaking the same language, if partners, when you go to your gynecologist, you're saying the same thing that your boyfriend or husband is saying to his doctor when you go there, and you come back home with information that you can now begin to compare and say, that's where we start making real progress. That is how we start making real progress. So let's go back to the drawing board. Because let me tell you something. It pains me that I live in this country and the biggest crisis, existential crisis that I face is if I get a chest pain in this country. If something happen, we all here just winging life because nobody wants to go to GNF. But we all here just winging it, hoping that our chances will be different than the other person who we heard went then and didn't make it out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
Or what happens is that people go to GNF with a mindset, with a certain level of aggression. Listen, men planning to get good attention up there, so let me go up there, angry and upset and on edge. And so you reach up there, and the least you see, you explode.
Yeah. And the healthcare workers are human beings as well. Granted, I will always say, and I tell all my healthcare workers that when somebody comes to you and they're sick, you can't expect that person to come and be pleasant and nice and so on. The person is there because they have no choice but to be there. Nobody just go to a doctor. So your job as a healthcare worker, and that's why I say from the security guard at JNF has a responsibility. You can imagine coming there with your pressure high and the security guard says, don't block over there. Right? No, but we all part of the healthcare delivery apparatus. So the way in which we treat people, so as healthcare workers, our job is to de-escalate the situations.
Yes.
Right? But we also need to be, as healthcare workers, cared for in the environment we work, because who cares for the carers? Right? Because we're not superhumans. We smoke and we drink, we promiscuous, we hide our body count, all those things. No, because we think that doctors and nurses, for some reason, we think that we die in the same way. Right? So somebody has to care for us, and then we can provide that care that our patients need, but patients also have to become involved. Self-care intervention, you have to become involved. Your health has to matter to you. And health is not when disease comes. People say, but I want to ask you, went to a doctor. Oh, me I feel nothing. I'm like, but that's why you go. Can you afford to really feel something here? You can't.
Exactly.
So come before. And when you go, make sure your doctor knows your entire health history. You may not tell your boyfriend, but your body count, your doctor should know.
And on that note, that is how we're going to end Hot Topics for this afternoon. We had a very lively Hot Topics this afternoon. Dr. Pierre, thank you so much for being here. And Nubia, you going to bring it back?
Most definitely. Most definitely. Most definitely.
Once he agrees to come back.
Yes.
All right.
We come back and we'll have
where's your office located?
Right up the road there.
Right.
Up the road by Hendrickson Catholic.
Okay, that's
Medical Associates.
What, I'm on F still?
Yes.
Me, I'm talking like.
So tell the folks where your office is at.
I don't want to promote an office because let me just say I'm pre-retirement. I'm winding down the whole idea of thing. I'm not looking to build a practice of seeing patients. I'm always open to speaking to everybody. But you can come to urgent care SKN. You can come up the road, and when we're open, we're happy to see you and talk to you and everything and so on, and provide the level of care and actually send you to the people who can actually do that care. I don't want to say that, come, I have an office. I don't have an office hour per se like that. I come and I see people on specific days, and when I can provide help, I provide help. And because we can use our Go Doctor platform, which you'll see more about, which is Go Doctor, where you can stay and from your cell phone you can actually find that care, that you don't have to leave the studio to go find a doctor.
I know.
Stuff like that, know. So that's what I'm most excited about, and that's where I spend most of my effort working on right now, because I realize that I on my own cannot. I can open there 24 hours if I wanted to. I would die at the end of it and still haven't made much of an impact. So I'm looking for where I can make most impact, and Go Doctor is that for me.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you to our listeners. Thank you to all of you who chose to call in as well. Coming up next on Freedom FM, we have Islands Rhythms, hosted by EK.
The sound of St. Kitts Nevis. Freedom FM, 106.5 FM.